At you live from the beautiful Mississippi Gulf Coast, and we are at Cruisin the Coast and having a great time. I am presently flanked by two fantastic musicians. On my left, our good friend Steve Azar, who of course was on the last segment, and joining us now, Mr. Louis Prima Jr.
Hey.
Also a very accomplished musician. What an honor this is, gentlemen, to have you on. Welcome to the show, Louis.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure just to be out in public again.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm with you, Dave.
Wow, it's cool.
What do you think about all this?
You know what? We've been playing here quite a few times over the years, and I'm a car guy, so I love this.
Oh, okay, awesome.
And I always look forward to coming down here and playing and being at the Beau Rivage, a beautiful hotel. The people there are amazing, and I'm just happy to be playing again and performing again and seeing so many people enjoying themselves again. Yeah. Man, it's a treat for me.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear because I guarantee it's a treat for them too.
Yeah,
for you to be performing for them and to get somewhat back to normal, as they say.
The king of swing, the prince of swing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's really amazing your family's legacy and that you're continuing it on, but it's so historical. I mean, so much bigger and just so much bigger. Do you remember, growing up as a kid and just looking up at your dad and then when did it get you? When did the bug bite you?
You know, it's I always tell people, as a kid, it was just I didn't know anything, I mean, we were at his shows, we went on the road with him during the summers, you see him on stage. I just kind of thought that was normal. And I didn't really get heavy into music. I started very young on drums and piano and doing things, and tried to learn guitar, and I broke my arm and gave that up, and I didn't pick the trumpet up until high school. And I really didn't want to get into music. I had bigger aspirations, and my senior year, or right after my senior year, I got on stage with a friend of mine and sang a couple songs, and that was it.
There's always that moment where it bites you. It really is.
It does, and it's kind of like I guess I didn't view myself as a talented musician, and kind of felt if I was going to do something, I wanted to be really good at it. But when I got the mic in my hand and felt how to entertain people, that was it. And I've been in and out of it and raised two boys through it all, and I've been back on the road now 16 years, and I love it.
I love it. Well, you got bit, but you also obviously had a genetic makeup. For me, no one in my family, they can't trace it. They can't. It really isn't.
Really?
But we talk about something being in the water in Mississippi and Louisiana and Alabama and Arkansas. But, did you grow up in NOLA?
New Orleans and Las Vegas, kind of split time.
Right.
I moved 14 times by the time I was in 8th grade. So
wow.
it's And it is I'm fortunate to have the family history, and it's on my mom's side and my dad's side. My grandfather on my mom's side had a bar in Seaside Heights, New Jersey, on the boardwalk, and he had a B3 in the restaurant. And would just play for customers.
We call it the Beast.
That would be a Hammond organ, correct?
Yes,
Hammond organ.
Yeah, but let me tell you what.
One.
Yeah.
But
Leslie
but it's and my father's legacy is undeniable. I mean, it's hard to run into people in show business or in the music business that don't have him on their list of people they look at for inspiration or enjoyed the music. And as we tour around do this, as I'm trying to move the music forward, we're creating new. We're on our 3rd album now for Warrior Records. Original material and creating it in his vein, but the way I like it. I mean, I'm more of a rock guy, so and my father was too.
He was such a rock guy.
He was a rock guy, and the thing is people kind of, I don't know if they forget that, but the ones that have seen him, when they come to see us, they get it. And
there has to be this transition for you to be honest with yourself. You can't be your dad. It's impossible. But you can be an extension from him, use those influences. But I think folks and fans would much rather see what's coming out of you honestly. And then, obviously, he's represented always.
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 We always play, there's songs of his that we have to play. Or the fans wouldn't let us get off the stage. But I'm fortunate to have an amazing band. Always had great musicians around me. Some of the guys in the band, this is our 11th year together. And
that makes a difference.
And they're all entertainers, so it is in my father's vein, the show as well. You get the visual, you get the music, and we try to bring people into the show. My goal is to get people out of their seat and having a good time, and they appreciate what we're doing. On top of, they get to hear a couple of my dad's tunes.
How big is the band?
There's 10 of us on stage.
That's heavy to travel.
It's tough. Especially right now. It's a very tough environment to keep this moving. But like I said, I'm fortunate to have been able to do it, and we've managed to keep it afloat for a lot of years. And I'm having the time of my life.
Wow.
We're chatting with Louis Prima Jr. and Steve Azar. So, Louis, are you self-taught? How did you learn?
My mother taught me how to play the drums when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
My aunt, Sister Mary Ann, she was a nun in New Orleans in the, I believe it was first, second, third grade, taught me piano.
Okay.
The rest is self-taught.
All nuns can play the piano.
All nuns can play the piano.
They also know how to yank your ears when you're little, because I had them.
Something.
I had my Irish nuns, and they were fighters,
I spent a lot of years with my arms with books in them. Okay,
I love it. We've all been raised the same up here.
Yeah, but the rest was self-taught, and I was fortunate in high school to have a brilliant band director, William Mcmosley. We called him Mac. He probably taught us more about life than about
that's
music.
Cool.
That's awesome.
But he was one of those guys. Everybody has somebody in school that, at whatever grade it was, that just was that guy. And Mac was that guy. And I think if it weren't for him, I would have not gone further into it.
That's interesting, because you got to have somebody that you look back that mentored you. So it was just such an important person in your life. And if you don't have it, I wonder which way you go.
Yeah,
exactly.
You gotta have it.
Exactly. It's those little moments that change everything.
Oh, sure.
And it's like I was out of the business for a while and raising my kids by choice. Raising my kids. I'm a touring guy. I don't like sitting in one room for too long.
My kids are parents. My kids are gone, but my wife doesn't like me sitting in that room for too long.
No, exactly.
Says, why are you still here? Will you please leave?
So it was just by a happenstance. A couple different things happened that a chance encounter with an old friend that runs Shrapnel Records. If you're familiar with them, they do all the really fast guitar players and things. And a chance, and then almost in the same day, running into an old friend of mine. With an opportunity, and this was born. That was back in 2004, and it's been no looking back. The kids were old enough to know I was going on the road and could take care of themselves, and I haven't looked back. I can't see myself doing anything else, All
right, so you're playing tonight, right?
Playing tonight for the Sock Hop at Beau Rivage. Show starts at 7 o'clock.
Wow.
There is a dance floor. We're in the theater this year.
Okay.
It's a beautiful venue. They got some tables set up front. There's going to be food and drink in there. So come on out, 7 o'clock, and have a couple hours. Do you remember what music was like?
That's awesome. That's awesome. So that's just part of the connection and the flow with the Cruisin the Coast.
Absolutely.
People have to realize that we all grew up watching Jungle Book, and our kids, and your kids, and all that. So for people that are going like, wait a minute, how come I know Louis Prima? How come I know? Well, that's him.
Yep.
I mean, it's one of the most historic, iconic moments in movie history and music history.
Well, look, when we're out on the road and you run into people that may have not think they don't know who Louis Prima is, and you start listing the movies and the commercials and the songs, and David Lee Roth did Gigolo and Brian Setzer did this, and you can go through everything, and if I don't know why I leave it for last, but if they still haven't gotten it, I go, you saw the cartoon Jungle Book? Remember Disney? Remember King Louie? That was my dad.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, yeah. And that's the first song we recorded on our first album as a band, just to try to, and we had never played it before live. So we did kind of our own version of it just to kind of kick off the direction that we wanted to go. And it's, look, it gives me the opportunity to play for all ages.
Sure.
You look at my demographic, it's not there. It's literally, 5 to 500. And
it makes it pretty easy on your marketing company at Warrior Records.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does, man.
Love it.
Identify the target market. Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, next question. Let's just drop it. Yeah, I love it.
Which means, obviously, Louis, that virtually everybody that's listening to this program or watching it right now has heard your music.
Has heard the music, and if they haven't, go listen. LouisPrimaJR.com.
It's pretty good.
You get the links. It's good time music.
I'm going to listen to it the whole way home to Greenville.
Yeah,
the whole way home
awesome.
to Greenville, I'm listening to you. I promise you.
Louis, Steve, thanks so much for joining us. It's been
Thanks,
an honor
Trevor.
and a pleasure.
It's my
Good luck
pleasure.
on the
Thank
show
you very
tonight.
much.